The group project might be about Snarf.
Whoa.
What do you mean by that?
Investigating where Snarf comes from.
We need to explore this.
Yeah.
What
I don't know.
Snarf's
I feel like
whole
Men's are-
deal is.
What is Snarf? Welcome to Drafted. I am your host, Daniel Prentice. Welcome back after a long, much too long wait, but we are back, and I am, as always, joined by my tremendous co-host and dear, dear friend, Preston Thompson. Preston, how are you doing tonight? And what are you drinking, my friend?
I'm doing better. Just hearing you do the welcome is it just sends like a shiver down my spine. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel joy.
Oh, that's so nice. I really went into that one. I really
You did.
Went
there was
over the
pitch.
top with it. Yeah.
I think people could do like a full remix out of it. Oh, welcome. You're turning into the guy who does the announcing at like WWE or whatever.
Yeah.
This is the new Let's Get Ready to Rumble. And I'm drinking a tangerine White Claw because we're all going to die someday, so none of it matters. So
amen,
just
brother.
drink a tangerine White Claw. Why not?
Well, I've never related to anything more that anyone has ever said on this show. I've never related more than what Preston just said.
Wow. Great start.
We are going to die someday, and we all have that to look forward to. The sweet release of death, you know? So I think keeping me going these days.
So drink White Claw.
Yeah, not a sponsor, but could be. Come on, White Claw, talk to us. That's the kind of branding you want, and we know it.
Yeah, you want your brand to be associated with pointless existence.
Yeah, and the sweet release of death. Nihilism sells these days, Preston. Everyone knows it. We do have one other thing to look forward to, though, Preston. There is one other thing, and that is our guest for our episode this week. We welcome back from the Halloween special of last year, and she is joining us from the spookiest, scariest internet that we have seen in the last 20 years, and that is Paige Sixx. Paige, thanks so much for joining us. How are you?
Hey, I'm not bad, but internet do be shit right now. It's not great.
Internet do be shit.
Paige, what are you drinking? Are you drinking anything festive for the occasion?
Not particularly festive, but I'm drinking a cafe au lait and at nighttime, so I hate myself. And that's pretty much it.
Wow. There's an energy going into this show tonight that is different.
We're feeling very existential and depressed. What's going on here?
I think it can only make for a good show, right? This is a very healthy show energy.
Well, it can only go uphill, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Chaos breeds creativity, right? So.
Wow, stitch that on a pillow.
I have heard someone say that before.
Have you?
Yeah, just now.
Oh.
Yeah, just now it was you.
It was me.
Do people know what a cafe au lait is? Because Paige said that she was drinking that before I asked her for the recording of the show. A little peek behind the curtain there. And Preston acted like she knew exactly what you meant, and I don't think I've ever heard of it in my life.
I think I was just carrying myself with confidence.
Okay.
I had no idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, not
I
a
thought
clue.
like everyone knew. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Paige,
sounds
right?
good,
The
though.
whole world is in Los Angeles, California, okay?
Oh my
You
god.
West Coasters, I swear.
Oh my god, this is a French thing for the record.
Okay.
What coast is France
That's
on?
even worse.
Yeah, what coast is France on?
Very
Depends who you
East
ask.
Coast. Super
who you
East
ask.
Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just literally half coffee, half milk. Cafe.
Wait,
Sounds lovely.
Olay, is it like OLE?
It's AULAIT.
Oh.
Cafe au lait. Because
Yeah,
it's
what
very
the hell?
French.
I could be
does sound
saying
very
it
French.
terribly wrong though. Who knows?
No, say
Certainly
it in
not I.
a thick French accent. Cafe au lait. Like that.
Cafe au lait.
Cafe au lait.
That's got to be right.
That's
That has
That's
to be
definitely right. That's it. Mhm.
Well, that sounds like great draft fuel. I myself am just drinking water because
Wow.
I know it's very rare that I do that. Preston can attest to this, and any other listeners to the show. I usually will go out of my way to hold it down even when no one else is drinking alcohol. But my roommate has had the flu for the last week and a half, and I don't know if it's just like me being worried about it that like is triggering myself, but I feel like I'm starting to come down with it. So I'm just trying to drink healthy fluids right now.
You should
Dan,
drink
the
those
flu.
vitamin C packets.
Yes.
I don't have any of those.
Emergency.
I'm just
Yeah, emergency. That's it.
I'm just gonna drink God's natural vitamin C packets, which is just good old H2O.
I don't think that's right. You know, the flu is just more of like a state of mind, though. I feel like you could just work yourself through it.
Yeah.
Just have a better attitude about it.
You know, that's a fair point, Preston. That's a very
Stop
fair
being
point.
a baby.
That's a very fair point. And I will say a fair attitude might be a critical personality trait for our draft tonight. Can you tell us what we're drafting this week, Preston?
We are drafting the worst collection of Cartoon Network characters to do a group project with.
Oof.
This has made me think back to earlier times in my life, to the days of yore when I would do a group project. Now it seems like in our current times, every man for himself. No such thing as team.
Boy, isn't that true?
Me. Right.
Who could have ever particularly be longing for the days of group projects?
I know. Well, and one time I was supposed to do a group project and I didn't have a group. So I didn't think I had to do it. So I didn't tell my parents. Because I was like an odd man out.
How did
and
you
then
not have a group?
I don't know. I didn't have a lot of friends. But then the night before the project was due, I told my parents at like 10 o'clock at night that I had a science fair project due the next day. So my mother pulls out a trifold poster board.
Good old poster board.
Middle school? 6th grade, maybe?
Nice, okay.
6th or 7th. So she pulls out a poster board and she says, here's what we're going to do. This was so genius at the time because it was the only thing we could do with all the materials we had at home. Pulls out a big poster board and says, we're going to measure the effectiveness of tennis balls at different temperatures.
Oh, that's good.
What?
Like how bouncy they are, right?
Yeah, exactly. So she immediately sticks several tennis balls in the freezer and about 5 in the oven. And then we go outside and we climb up the top of a ladder and we start dropping tennis balls from the same height that are room temperature.
What temperature did you set the oven to?
Oh, pretty low. But they were hot. They were hot to the touch.
Okay.
They were hot to the touch. And then we measured the heat on the tennis ball. And then we measured the cold on the tennis ball. Now, plot twist here to this science project at about midnight, there was no difference. So I got a very bad grade on the assignment.
Wait, why? That's
No.
bullshit. That's bullshit.
It's
That's
still
bad teaching.
scientific research.
That's not what science is. Science is not discovering differences. It's the scientific process. If your scientific process was good and you related it as such, then you made a discovery, which is just the same as discovering if they fucking bounce different.
I think I made that case to the teacher. I should have. I think I just was fine with failing and moved forward, as with most things in my life.
Be honest. They actually failed you because the results were not different or because it was clear that you threw a science experiment together the night before?
You know, I think you're onto something with that, with the latter half there.
Okay. I do want to know, I mean, that's Preston's story of not being in a group project. What kind of group project people were you?
I feel like I was always the person who would just end up doing the whole group project myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I was always thankful to get grouped in with those people. I was usually I liked group projects, especially in college when I got better, is like assigning everybody a role. And then I played my role really well, but there is a 0% chance I would vacate that role at all. And then if the project failed, I would go up to the professor and be like, listen, I was given this role and I want you to know how well I performed this role. If it was like, do X bit of research on this thing and nothing else, I would crush that thing. I would have it done that day. But then I'm not doing a single other thing whatsoever. So a great role player.
I learned going into like university for group projects, you just assign everyone a role. And then, you know what? If the other thing doesn't get done well, I'm just like, look, that wasn't my job.
It's true. Because I think in most college projects I did, there were like varying grades. Like you could get a different grade than somebody else in the group. The same grade, So it was still kind of every man for himself out there.
Yeah, I mean, I had both experiences in college in particular where like, everyone would do a role. Then you just do your role. Oftentimes my role would be like double checking everyone else's role.
Supervisor.
Yeah.
That's a racket.
It was really fun. I remember the proudest A I ever received was in World War II history at my senior year. And that was the hardest fucking class I've ever done. And I worked so fucking hard at it and got an A. And I remember for like the big group project at the end, my role was basically like putting everyone's writing and research into a way that was actually an acceptable like MLA format because no one else knew how to fucking do it. So I was like making sure everyone like documented their research correctly and everything. And so I got a super A for that. But I've also been part of projects where everyone actually just like was a total collaborative team effort where we did everything together. But in high school, I think I was kind of like definitely never did a whole project by myself, but kind of like was often like a group leader type. I feel like who was an idea guy and trying to make sure everything actually went well.
Idea guy.
Yeah.
What do you think are the roles on the drafted podcast group project? I think you are the idea guy. And I'm the very explicit role player. I think we've fallen back into our traditional tropes here.
I think that's exactly right.
Does that mean it's Paige's podcast now?
Everything up. What?
No, Paige this time is like the show up at the end. What the hell's going on, person?
Yeah,
and they take all the credit at the end.
I totally forgot about this, but
and then you're gonna win.
You're
gonna win the
stupid vote. The best grade somehow.
Did I win the vote for last one?
You know what? I can't remember. It was too long ago. You probably did.
I kind of think I did.
You probably did because the guest always does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it makes you feel better, Paige will say you did.
Thanks.
But I am excited to get this draft underway. Our draft order is Preston first, myself second, and then Paige third. And of course, as always, snake style draft. So reverse order on even rounds. Are we all good to go on this? Are we good to start here?
I think we're good. I have a varied amount of Cartoon Network experience, but I think everybody that's drafted tonight, I will know where they're from and I will have seen their show.
I hope so. Because I definitely watched way more Nickelodeon as a kid. This is I think the vibe Cartoon Network had and why it didn't particularly resonate with me with a lot of their shows. They have some exceptions, they like a lot of the Cartoon Network shows, at least when I was a kid, had like this very kind of like uncanny vibe intentionally, but like I'm thinking like Courage the Cowardly Dog, like that whole thing. It's like kind of like gritty, often like a gritty, upsetting, off-putting animation style, and then like weird dark themes. And to me, that is it's just like a weird vibe to go for kids shows.
Okay, but like Rugrats on Nickelodeon. How weird was that?
I also did not like Rugrats. To be fair, I also did not like Rugrats.
I really like Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network was my preferred channel as a kid.
Yeah, Paige has been an emo kid for as long as I've known her, so that checks out.
It was the home of the emo kids.
Yeah,
I'm just into weird stuff, so I guess that does check out.
I buy it.
But yeah, I feel like there were definitely Nickelodeon kids and Cartoon Network kids, and I feel like not a ton of people who watched both equally, and I definitely was a Nickelodeon kid. But I am hoping that I also know enough characters to get by here. We will do our best, and if you are a Cartoon Network kid, please be sure to let us know what we get wrong in the Discord and on Twitter.
Yeah, and I would say I was an equal kid, in part because of one show that I will reveal later in the draft. One show that I was obsessed with as a kid that I would watch every single time it came on.
I wonder if I have a guess for that. We can get to that later. First of all, what's the first pick of the draft here, Preston?
Oh yeah, go.
I'm pretty confident in there being a pretty consensus first overall choice here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which I'm going to take Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
can't do a thing. Like quite literally can't do a thing.
I am going to disagree with this choice.
Wow. Okay.
Because I feel like Miriam would not be alive without Courage the Cowardly Dog. I feel like he keeps that little old lady alive. I feel like if it really came down to it.
His only job is to be a dog. Are there easier things in the world to accomplish? You lay there, you eat, and you sleep. I can't attest. This is all my dog does.
I think being a cat is easier than being a dog.
Being a cat is easier, I think.
Maybe that's possible.
Because there are expectations
obey
of
orders.
But despite this,
you can teach them stuff, and they have
despite the ease of life, Courage still finds himself in very terrible situations where he is very frightened and very scared all the time. And he doesn't ever really like work his way out of it. He sort of just gets out of it. And then the episode's over.
He has some pretty high functioning anxiety, that is for sure.
That's not what you want. Not what you want.
But
I will say I think I had Courage on my list. But my reasoning for it was I think because he does have kind of find his like fumble his way into the success rate somehow, which actually maybe can be useful in a a group project setting. If you just have a guy who always ends up being a winner, if you're on
this is
your team,
is your Tom Brady equivalent.
Exactly. My brain went there immediately. But I think the problem with Courage is every single situation that Courage is in ever somehow it ends up being a horrible, scary, terrible situation. And I don't want to be any part of that for a fucking group project. Group projects are anxiety inducing enough that I don't have to worry about like who's going to murder me, because I'm around Courage all the time. That's not true. It's not what I need in my group project.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Mhm.
He does seem to attract some pretty weird situations.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
Exactly. So I'm really not here for that. I would not have taken him first though, but I did have him on my list.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate Paige coming right out though with, she's not here to like sugarcoat things. She's like, that was a bad pick, Preston. No, don't apologize. I love
No,
it.
don't apologize.
I disagree.
Okay. I am going to take a character from a show that I really did not like as a child, which to be fair is true of most Cartoon Network shows. But I am going to take Eddie from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Oh.
Interesting.
Because he was just in my memory, just really just kind of an asshole. And
Wait, there's Eddie is the short one. Right?
Eddie's the short one. He's like the de facto leader, the most obnoxious one, the most toxic one. Not very bright, but still sees himself as the leader of the group for some reason. And honestly, he like single-handedly kind of made me not like the show because I disliked him so much. And I think he would be absolutely miserable to function with in any way, let alone when I'm depending on him to like be a reliable person for a group project setting.
I like it. I
agree with that.
I was curious of who of the three here should be chosen first, but your logic is sound. So I
feel like Double D would be fantastic to have on a group.
Yeah,
project.
I was gonna say I think Paige is like maybe being too helpful here, but I was gonna say I think one of the three should not be picked because I think he would actually be very good, and that's the sweetheart Double D.
Am I like revealing Double D? I had a mad crush on Double D as a kid. I'm not even gonna lie. I did.
Really?
That's very.
There's so many characters.
Preston's like looking at pictures of them. What?
Yeah,
Double D.
What's going on there?
He was a sweetie. Double D was a sweetie and deserved better friends than he had.
A little OCD.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
He's the one with the hat.
He's the hat guy. Yeah. He's the hat guy.
He's the one with the hat.
That's interesting.
Now I feel like I have to search a picture of him.
I'm gonna look up.
I don't think Paige was crushing for like physical appearance. It doesn't sound.
No, I'm gonna look up like what would Ed look like in real life.
Oh,
no.
That can't be anything but horribly traumatizing.
Well, let's find out, shall we?
Yeah,
oh God!
Oh no! Now I want to search. I'm gonna search.
Oh no! Oh, it's so bad.
Oh, no.
Oh my God! It's so bad.
Never
it's so
much
much worse
do that.
than I could have possibly imagined.
Never look up
you're looking at.
Here, I'm
This is great. This is great for our listeners right now.
No, they're just gonna hear your reaction. I'm posting
a
link in the Zoom chat. They're just gonna hear your reaction. And they're gonna go wild.
This may break Paige's computer and/or internet. Just this link.
It's so terrible.
If my internet just suddenly gets really, but what the hell? This is terrifying. You're gonna have to leave this link because it's inaccurate, completely inaccurate.
It is. It's actually horrifying.
It's deeply upsetting.
It looks like Ed, Edd n Eddy, but like for a horror movie, like
for like a claymation movie or something, for some sort of Tim Burton film. Yeah.
Oh my God,
it's deeply upsetting.
Ooh.
Well, the one that I found is like much better. They're kind of like little anime characters, but still more realistic than,
Okay.
All right, Paige. It is your pick. You have back-to-back picks here.
Awesome. Okay, so my first pick is actually gonna be Johnny Bravo.
Great choice.
Because I mean, he's by no means dumb, but he's also not the smartest crayon in the box. And he'll pretty much sexually harass anyone who walks by.
Yeah.
So not a great group partner in my personal thoughts.
That's really not a show that has aged well either, or a character that has aged well.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way it
doesn't.
gets made like
No.
these days. There's no way.
Definitely not.
No way.
Yeah, this is a great pick, Paige. Johnny Bravo was very, very high on my list as well.
Yeah, Johnny Bravo. And I am gonna go ahead and choose Billy from Billy and Mandy.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because
talk about dark conceptual shows. Jeez.
I loved Billy and Mandy, actually.
This is one Cartoon Network show that I actually did watch a little bit.
Billy and Mandy.
Mm-hmm.
It was I really enjoyed Billy and Mandy, but I like dark things, so
Yeah, definitely a little dark for a kid's show,
annoying,
but very
obnoxious.
self-aware in the way that it was, which I as a kid appreciated a little bit. I will say so Billy is on my list, but I do feel like I don't think I would have taken Billy nearly this high, because Billy does show that he can work in a group setting fairly well. He is dumb, but I feel like he usually is able of getting out of the way of
he's malleable
and Smarter Grim. Yeah.
You can be like, hey, just stand here and do this.
And he'll be fine. Cut the paper strips, Billy. That's all we need from you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There are many
Paper
episodes
mache.
where they tell him, don't touch that, don't go in there, and don't do it like this, and he does it. And then that's the episode. They have to get him out of the crap. Like, that's the whole episode is he messed up. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're just latching on different aspects of Billy's character in our memories.
That's true.
I mean, I do think he's a fine pick. I think I would have gone for more like actively toxic people before I took Billy personally, which you covered certainly with Johnny Bravo.
Would you not? Yeah, I got my toxic person, Johnny Bravo.
I just think if you get like 6 toxic people, that's the worst group work setting, rather than like one toxic dude and a few bumbling idiots that you can largely probably ignore. Personally,
interesting.
I feel like this is actually becoming more of a subjective thing than I thought.
Oh well,
now that I think about it,
drafted is always subjective.
That's true.
And that's why it's
fun. Some of these drafts are actually based on fact, statistical evidence, and science.
Statistical evidence shows.
Like my tennis ball test.
That's true.
Science.
When are we going to draft science projects?
I want the baking soda volcano. Yeah.
That's like top tier.
I want the potato.
Or the bottle rocket. Bottle rocket.
Ooh,
oh my god.
The potato battery is good. The bottle rocket's also good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just switched my letters. Did anyone get that?
No.
Ignore me.
Okay.
I said Roddle Bucket.
Oh. Roddle Bucket. Everybody wants a good Roddle Bucket.
Didn't even notice. Did not even notice.
Oh, good. Nobody noticed.
So thank you for drawing attention to it, Paige. We appreciate that.
Yeah, I just should have not said anything, but
okay.
Someone would have noticed somewhere. So.
My next pick is going to be much more modern than any of these, but it was a very popular show that was very popular with people our age when it came out, and that is Lumpy Space Princess from Adventure Time.
Okay.
Have any of you seen Adventure Time?
Yes.
So Lumpy Space Princess is the most self-assured while being completely worthless character I think I've ever seen on television. She's unbelievably obnoxious. She would 100% try to vie for being like the center of attention all the time and being the group leader, even though she's an idiot and has nothing of value to contribute. That's LSP.
Yeah. I think she would be not a fantastic person to work with.
No.
That's true.
She would be insufferable.
I buy it.
Paige about to come out here defending LSP.
No, I'm just like, you know what? She wouldn't be. They're worse people to hang out with But
I
for a
don't-
group project,
I don't think there
For
are many
sure.
worse people to hang out with, if I'm being honest with you.
well, I
If
don't
I'm-
know.
She'd be very low on that list as well. If this were drafting Cartoon Network characters to go out with for a night, she might be even higher on my list than she is for
Oh, no.
group project working. But
We should do that one next.
okay, we'll do 2
Yeah,
drafts
we're
in one
gonna
episode.
we're gonna feed directly into it.
Yeah.
We're gonna go straight into that one.
All right, Preston, it is the wraparound back-to-back picks here for you, my friends.
I feel like you guys are gonna yell at me for this pick. You're
Uh-oh.
gonna be like, "Oh, it's cheating. It's not a real character."
Not a
But
real
this is
character.
one of the most iconic characters to ever come out of Cartoon Network. More often than not,
Okay.
with our age group, I see this character on like a shirt, on socks, on keychains. This character is
What?
everywhere. I'm taking Plank from Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Oh no, that is cheating. I feel
Whereas
like it
whereas Daniel said he's going for complete toxicity, I'm going for inability
do
to
nothing.
accomplish the most mundane task.
Yeah.
If the task was like write your name on this piece of paper, I want characters who cannot accomplish such a thing. So I'm taking Plank.
The question is Plank a character?
Yes.
yeah. I feel like you have to take what's his name with Plank then.
Johnny
Jimmy?
is, I think his name's Johnny.
Oh,
2x4 or
Jimmy.
something
I
like
think
that.
I think it is Jimmy.
I mean, no, I'm taking Plank. No. Don't give me
He's
the
like,
baggage.
No.
No, I want Plank. Plank is absolutely a character. I mean,
What-
Plank has
what are his
a character.
characteristics?
His characters. He's strong.
Is
He's the
he?
silent type.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay.
He marches to the beat of his own drum,
Does he march at all?
and I would say he's quite quixotic.
A what?
like Don Quixote?
Yeah, or Jack from Titanic. He's spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Okay. Okay.
easily flammable.
Oh dear.
All right. I think we just let Preston have this and move on.
Thank you. Thank you. Just wear him down.
For those who don't remember Plank, Plank is like the imaginary friend of Jimmy from Ed, Edd and Eddy.
It's not an imaginary friend. He's a real thing.
No, he's
He's
an
a
imaginary
real
friend.
Plank.
He's,
Yeah.
he's,
a
a,
real
he's a
thing.
he's a board
He's
with
a
a face
Plank
painted
with a
on him.
face.
Oh boy.
He's a Plank with a face.
I don't think I would not say that he's the most ubiquitous Cartoon Network character that I see.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think he's up there. It's
Yeah,
my pick again
okay.
here, right? Right.
It is,
Right,
yes.
squad.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna stay on brand. I'm gonna go ineffective. Just cannot hold a pencil.
Oh no.
And I'm taking one of my favorite characters from a great show. Not my favorite Cartoon Network show, but it's up there. Taking Cheese from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Which one is
Oh.
Cheese?
Cheese is the character that was invented by a 2-year-old and can only shout the same word over and over again. Most of the time it's chocolate milk. He just says chocolate milk over and over and over again. Chocolate milk, chocolate milk. So I don't think that's going to be the most useful dynamic to bring into a group project. And I feel like probably not. And I
So
feel
you
like
have
I
all
a
these like
very good team.
inanimate.
Yeah, I have both inanimate and incapable people. Is Cheese an
okay.
acceptable pick to you? Deb?
Yeah, 100%. I had a different imaginary friend on my list. I had forgotten about this character. He was horribly annoying, but I will say one thing he has going for it over the character that I have on my list, but I may or may not pick. He does have usable hands, so he could
Yeah.
he could use a pencil.
I was thinking that.
The
I was
bar
like,
for
he
this
could use
is
a
so
pencil.
unbelievably low.
He could use.
I
a
think if
pencil,
you
though.
handed Cheese a pencil, he would not know how to use it.
I don't know. The
I don't
potential
know.
is there. And if you're going purely for people who can't use a pencil, there are better imaginary friends picks who do not have hands. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Paige, what do you think?
I think he could like use a pencil. You never know.
This is a new
I-
draft. Draft
Draft
characters least
characters
likely to
who
be able
might-
to use a pencil.
Who maybe could use a pencil?
He could maybe use a pencil. He could maybe. It depends on what the group project is about. Like he could maybe contribute some way, somehow.
I think I'm drafting for the tennis ball project.
I will say, if you look up Cheese from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, there are pictures of him pouring chocolate milk into his mouth with his hands, sipping the juice box, which he is clutching with his hands, grabbing some sort of book, holding a toy unicorn. So he does have usable hands. That's all I'm saying.
He's basically Albert Einstein.
If nothing else, he could probably hold something while you cut it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's true. That's true. He could hold the ladder while you're dropping the tennis ball from above.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I guess he could do that.
What I'm saying is the pick was a massive blunder, Preston.
Okay,
you've ruined your draft.
Thanks, pal.
Okay. Now, okay, this pick, I need to ask if this one's okay with you guys, because this pick is definitely not from a show that was originally on Cartoon Network, but apparently Cartoon Network has picked up as of like December of last year. It does air on the network. How do we feel about that?
It's not really Cartoon Network proper. Why don't you tell us, and then if I think it's a good pick, I'll tell you you're not allowed to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Well, I think it is a fantastic pick. It's Caillou from the TV show Caillou.
Oh, that's fine. You can take that, but it's a good pick, but you can take that.
Okay.
I feel like Caillou is in the vein of children's television from when we were kids. So like it's fine. It's cool.
Yeah. It's like,
but I thought Caillou was like relatively capable.
No.
Isn't the whole point they teach him how to like count and
Caillou,
do alphabet stuff?
Let me air my grievances with Caillou.
Okay. Hey, Daniel, light this motherfucker up.
I will. I'm going to, Preston. And Paige, consider yourself lucky not to throw Paige under the bus, but she's a very small amount older than us. So I think she maybe just missed like the.
Did you miss Caillou?
For when Caillou might have been a thing.
I do not see him as being Cartoon Networky, but he's
not at all. But he is technically on Cartoon Network. That's why I asked.
Yeah,
like when I saw Caillou, he was on PBS. But exactly. Caillou is the whiniest motherfucker that has ever been on television, and it is unbelievable to me that he was like the main character of a children's show, because kids shows should be about like helping children develop their young human being skills, and Caillou is just the fucking worst in every single category a human being is measured in. And I know that he's a child, but it's unbelievable to me. It's such a bad show. He's such a bad character and kid. He sucks so much. And even as an adult, he is irredeemable. Even if he's like of an age where he is now participating in group projects, there's no way I would be able to be around him for anything more than 5-10 seconds at a time.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's something. I mean, like the whole point of the show is for him to learn.
He doesn't. That's the thing. He never does.
Exactly.
He's just as a whiny piece of shit the whole time. Never faces any fucking consequence for it.
Caillou.
He is unlike any of the members of my team, a human boy, which I think gives him a distinct advantage in many aspects.
Here,
he is human, so you have that.
He is a human being. I mean, two-thirds of my team so far are human beings.
Yep.
But he's also like a preschooler 4-year-old. So he isn't like functioning at like an adult level or even.
But he respects adults.
He doesn't. If you think that, you've not seen the show recently enough.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. He has no respect for authority.
He has no respect.
Hang on. I want to pull up some tweets. Because every time I think of Caillou, I think of this Arian Foster, who was like an NFL star, but he's also just like a very smart guy. And I've appreciated his thoughts on lots of things. But I remember he tweeted about Caillou. This was 8 years ago that he tweeted about Caillou. And there's an SB Nation article about him that subtitled, the title is Arian Foster hates Caillou and you should too. And then the subtitle for the article is Caillou, one of the worst creations spawned by man, has made a mortal enemy in Arian Foster. Now the Texans running back is looking to rally against this despicable hairless child.
Oh my God. What is going on?
And then Arian Foster says, I can tolerate most of these kids shows, but Caillou is unbearable. There's no plot and the animation is average. Can't take it.
Wow.
Caillou can't grow hair, not because he has cancer or progeria, but because he sucks. And even his own body recognizes that he does not deserve hair or food or love.
Wow.
That's so bad.
Wow. I guess you're not the only one who hates Caillou.
I'm not the only one who feels this strongly.
Well,
just
I feel
know.
pretty happy that I've never seen the show.
Yeah, it's bad, Paige. I'll send you some clips and you'll understand.
If you can get Arian Foster to vote for you in this draft, I'll automatically let you win the rest of the podcast.
Really?
In perpetuity.
I feel like he has responded to tweets from me in the past.
Really?
So that's a non-zero chance, I think. Yeah, he's pretty engaging on social media.
All right. Let's do it.
Paige, you have one pick here, and then we will do our draft halftime break, so to speak. So make your final pick of the first half of the draft here.
Okay. My final pick is Lemongrab.
Sorry?
From Adventure Time. Or like he has the head of a lemon.
Oh, this guy.
Fuck that guy.
Unacceptable! Like all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
I feel like he's just awful to be around in
he
general, much less be in a group project with. So
he has a sword. Right?
That's true.
I don't know how that's helpful. I don't know how that's helpful.
Kind of helpful.
Scream at people, and he has like the worst, like, what's it called? He's just angry all the time.
This is such a good pick, Paige. I'm mad at myself. So Lemongrab is so insufferable. He is pretty much single-handedly why I stopped watching Adventure Time. I remember
he is awful.
I was never super into the show. It always was like, just a little too fucking weird for me. But I had friends who were super into it, and I remember like when I hang out with them, sometimes I would like watch it with them. And there was some episode with Lemongrab on it, and I was like, dude, I'm not watching the show with you anymore. This guy fucking sucks, and I don't understand how it's funny. He's horrible. Why would I willingly like suffer through this character, even though I know he's not real? But like, so why would I do it? He's that bad of a character.
Is that bad.
And I genuinely, this is such a good pick by Paige. I'm mad at myself for. I think I've like blocked him from my memory because he was so traumatized. He doesn't exist. Yeah.
He is super annoying, and all he does is just scream at everyone about how everything's unacceptable and never does anything himself, and wants to be like, doesn't he want to be like king or something like that?
I don't even know. I just know he's the actual worst.
I think he's great. I vibe big time with Lemongrab.
Yeah, that checks out.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like some people will be like, some people really love him, and I don't know why. But for a group project,
could not be friends with
those people. Can you
people.
imagine doing a group project with him?
No, I would fail. I would be like, listen, I can't do this. I'm taking the F. I'm not doing this. It's not worth the time of my life. So I think that's a fantastic pick, Paige. I think probably maybe the best pick so far. That does bring us to the halfway point of the draft. And just to recap the teams real quick before we take a breather and come right back. Preston has Cowage. I can't speak. Cut that out.
Coward's the cowardly dog. No, we're not going to cut it,
Daniel.
Preston has Cowage, the cowardly dog.
Courage, the cowardly dog.
Yes, Preston does have Courage, the cowardly dog, Plank from Ed, and Eddie, and Cheese from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I have Eddie from Ed, and Eddie, Lumpy Space Princess, and Caillou. And Paige has Johnny Bravo, Billy from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and Lemongrab from Adventure Time. We're going to take a quick breather. I'll be right back with the second half of the draft. Okay, Preston, what are we drafting tonight?
And we are drafting the best ways to support the Drafted Podcast. You've got first overall pick. What are you taking?
I have the number one pick. Wow. I mean, what a draft of the number one pick for. This is a no-brainer, Preston. I'm taking the Drafted Patreon. There's no better way to support the show, as you well know.
Yeah, it was clearly the top of my board. It's such a great pick.
Yeah, I mean, you can support us for as little as $3 a month. You get secret access to levels of the Drafted Discord, where you get access just to me and Preston and the other subscribers and VIPs of the show. You also get to listen to episodes without this annoying commercial or any other commercial breaks in it, and you get the unedited cut of the pod as well. So, I mean, there really is no better way, both for us and for the listeners, to support the show.
Yeah, if you think we mess up on the cut you hear, oof, just wait until you get the actual unedited version. It's a good first pick, Dan. For the second pick, I'm going to take rating us 5 stars on iTunes. Very helpful.
Yeah.
And for my third pick there, I'll say following us on all of our channels, Twitter, Instagram, everything we've got. And I think draft is over. So we'll do my team versus your team.
Yeah. I mean, we got to send it to Twitter, but hey, maybe your vote will count extra too if you support us on Patreon.
I clearly won.
Okay, we are back for the second half of the draft. And Paige, you have the first pick of the 4th round.
Oh, crap.
She was
sorry.
up.
That was surprising. Okay.
Okay, I have 1 pick, or I'm doing 2 right now.
Just one, Paige. Just one.
Just 1. Okay. Oh no. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go with Captain Knuckles
Sorry?
from Flapjack. Did you guys not watch Flapjack?
No, of course not, Paige.
No, what? What are
I've
you
actually-
talking about?
Oh my gosh. I had a whole stream where we were talking about Flapjack. I'm pretty sure you were there, Daniel. But
Well,
Flapjack
I
is like,
definitely tuned out for all that.
it was like, what is it? The Wonderful Misadventures of Flapjack or something
That sounds right. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
familiar with it. I've heard of it. The animation style really creeps me out.
What? I love it. And they always talk about candy like it's alcohol.
That's weird.
So they go to the bar to get candy all the time. Anyway, I love The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. That's it. Well, Captain Knuckles is like the little, I almost said co-actor. He's like one of the main characters, and he's Flapjack's friend. He's straight up mean. He's not a very smart dude. He only thinks about himself. And yeah, he would literally just leave you rotting on a desert island if it benefited himself.
So why is Flapjack friends with them? Flapjack appears to be a sweet little boy, based on what I know.
Yeah,
of the show.
Flapjack is an innocent, sweet little boy who thinks Captain Knuckles is his best friend, and Captain Knuckles is just taking massive advantage of Flapjack.
That feels bad.
Yeah.
It does. See, this is why I don't like Cartoon Network shows.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This
They just
is
have icky
teaching
vibes.
you
to
about
them.
life. No, it's just teaching you about life.
Yeah, we all have that Captain Knuckles in our lives.
Yeah, everyone has a Captain Knuckles. It's
I
your
think-
toxic friends that you want to just
And
Are
I
you
want
trying
you
to-
to name them now.
Are you trying to say something, Preston? Are you trying to say something at your drafted co-host here? Am I your Captain Knuckles? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh man, I was about to say you're my sweet little boy. That's not exactly right.
That's way
creepy.
worse. I think
That's somehow worse.
I had much rather be your Captain Knuckles.
You're my plank, Daniel. You're my
Oh, that's
plank.
nice. That's so nice.
Oh,
Can't go anywhere without you.
Yeah, Paige, who are your Captain Knuckleses?
My Captain Knuckles?
Mhm.
Nobody. I'm not friends with any Captain Knuckles.
Good for
That's
you.
what everyone, that's
Get
what
those
everyone
people out of
thinks.
your life. Yeah.
Flapjack would
I'm-
probably say
I'm
the same
pretty-
thing.
I learned a long time ago that I'm not going to hang out with people unless I like them. So
Well, that speaks very highly of us,
Wow.
Preston, I would say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. I feel like I made it into some sort of club.
Yeah, I feel
You
like
are,
a
you're in-
glowy, warm feeling inside now.
Whoa. Hold on. Drink some water.
Well, unfortunately, we can't really. I mean, we just take Paige's pick at face value because neither Preston nor I have seen this show.
We'll let the
Um,
voters decide.
But based on the
Picture
description,
him like Captain Jack Sparrow, but more mean and
less
I mean,
charming.
Jack Sparrow's kind of cool.
not charming
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, Jack Sparrow is cool, and I think would maybe somehow be a good group project worker.
Maybe. I think
Oh.
so.
He'd be the
Very
team leader,
talented.
and he would be unconventional. But God damn it,
He'd get the
would
job
find a way to
done.
make it work. Yeah.
Find a way.
So maybe this is
All
a
right.
horrible
Captain
pick.
Knuckles.
Captain
is always-
Knuckles, bad pick. Worst
Maybe
pick
this is
of
a
the
horrible
draft.
pick by Paige.
What?
Actually,
No,
You
it's a
really bad pick by
fantastic
Paige.
You had it. You lost it.
Oh no, I should have never said
Paige,
anything.
Paige had a kick return all the way down the to the goal line. And then in celebrating as she entered, dropped it just outside the end zone for a fumble, and then gave the ball back to their team instead.
I don't know what any of that means because sports.
Sports.
It's okay. Someone out there will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
My pick is next, and I am going to take Mandark from Dexter's Lab.
Mandark.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like the evil?
Yes, he's Dexter's
Dexter,
rival.
basically?
He's the one who laughs like this. Ha 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 ha.
Oh yeah, that actually was good. What? You think he'd be a bad group project person?
Awful. He's
Why?
He's very smart, but he's so obnoxious about it. He thinks he's smarter than everyone else, which I guess he kind of is. But like, he's just an asshole.
But he's very smart.
Yeah, but he's really smart. I think he'd be great in a group project.
No, okay.
I'd be like, you deal with it then.
He only would be great if you are content to be someone's lackey, which I am not. I think group projects should be collective, cohesive. Everyone's in it together, and there's no way that works with Mandark.
What?
There's just no way.
Wow.
I think he'd be fantastic. I'd just let him deal with the whole group project. I'd be like, there you go.
He disappointed.
Can I just say
he would boss Caillou around, that's for sure.
No, he and Caillou would butt heads. I mean, this is the thing. He's in the butt heads with all these people because Eddie and LSP both also want to be the leader of the group. So I'm just creating this horrible,
you're creating this like toxic group
culture of the whole team. Yeah, exactly. Like if you had Mandark with a bunch of people who just like are willing to do what Mandark says or willing to do nothing, then it's fine. But I'm creating this group atmosphere that would make you want to like switch schools.
Okay.
The guy that voices Mandark also voiced the really annoying kid from Polar Express, and that makes complete sense to me.
Now that you say that, I hear it. Yeah, that's true. You'd also have to hear his voice a lot because he loves to talk.
Yeah, I don't think this is a great pick though. I mean, like he brings a lot of brains to the table, and if you let him take charge.
I think he's more of a know-it-all than an actual smart kid is the problem.
But like, I'll take it.
No.
I'll take it over somebody with like, no positive attributes at all.
I just don't think it's a positive attribute.
Okay.
You know who else? You know who else was smart?
Who?
Rupert Murdoch. Okay.
What?
Big fan. Huge fan.
Yeah.
Who's that?
You know who else is a know-it-all?
Oh, Paige.
You know who else is a know-it-all?
Sorry.
Isaac Newton, Daniel.
How's that he was?
How's that for a group project?
Albert Einstein.
Yeah. Other smart people.
No, and you know what? I don't think Albert Einstein was a know-it-all. I think he was just very brilliant. And Sir Isaac Newton actually has been accused of stealing other people's science and discoveries.
Okay, wait.
For themselves.
You're telling me you wouldn't want that
earlier?
No, I don't want to take credit for my fucking work. Fuck that.
Dang.
Paige, Rupert Murdoch is the guy who is responsible for pretty much all of the
downfall of America
in
okay.
Western culture. Fox News, probably most.
And what Daniel's saying is he really looks up to Rupert Murdoch and wishes he could be more like him.
Yeah, I think that every single day.
Every day of my life. You guys mentioned a voice actor, and I just want to mention this because I found out the other day. Mojo Jojo is voiced by the same guy who voices Ghostface. So like, hello, do you want to play a game?
Oh,
really?
From the Saw movies?
No, from the Scream movies.
Scream movies.
The
hello, do you want to play a game? Seems like it's from Saw, but from the Scream movies.
Yeah, and then.
So do we consider this part of Mojo Jojo's villain evolution?
Maybe
that he turns into the Scream guy.
Well, no, he probably would have been Scream first.
Yeah, he would have been the Scream Ghostface guy first.
Oh yeah. Somebody watched that movie and was like, "This will be great for my children's television."
Yeah, he'll be a great villain.
Mojo Jojo was a great villain. They're really great villains in Powerpuff Girls. Gang.
Yes, they do have really great villains.
Yeah.
In Powerpuff Girls.
Okay, Preston. Again, it's the turnaround here. So back to back.
Yep. Staying on theme. with can't accomplish things. We're taking Ed from Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Singular
yeah.
D. Singular.
Yeah,
D.
yeah. Not double D, the hot one.
clearly not double D, the hot one. Yep, that's correct. Clearly not the hot 8-year-old boy.
I mean, what?
Just
I
the
love it.
regular.
I love it when we learn
boy.
things
Oh
about
no,
Paige.
don't even go there. For the record, I was
Um,
like 8 when I had a crush on him.
It's
so
too
That's
late.
fair.
It's
there
too
you
late
go.
now, Paige.
That's fair. Listen, I'm sure he's very nice, but he can't seem to do very much.
He's a
So,
bit of a dimwit, I think it would
He's a
be fair
bit
to
of
say.
a dimwit, yeah. Not the
thing,
sharpest
The thing
tool
about
in
Ed
the
is
toolbox.
he is a dimwit, but and you definitely are. Like, I think it works as a group better in isolation. But Ed
Right.
does seem like a bit of a sweetie who would probably try his hardest.
Are we
He would
in our group
try.
projects? Are we part of this?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
No?
What kind of group
No,
project
I
has 7 people in it?
Yeah.
Well,
I
okay,
think
but
we're
the-
not
the point
involved.
is,
It's
like-
just up to them.
My interpretation of this, it's gonna be the worst group project to work with. So, like,
Okay.
for us or the voter, right?
I guess that's fair.
Okay.
I guess that's fair. Yeah.
Like you see in the group project lineup that the collective you are matched with the 6 people being drafted on each team.
I see. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fair. I still think this is a pretty incapable team.
That's fair.
I still think I would just like really give up this grade if I had to work with this team.
Right.
You would
Might
with
be.
Preston's team?
Really, any of them. But
It's true. And we're all drafting pretty challenging situations here, but
But
Yeah.
we're clearly adopting very different styles here. I think Preston's, like, it sucks that you're gonna have to work by yourself mostly. But, like, you have people
Preston's
that
is
are,
like you're gonna have to do the whole project by yourself.
but you are gonna have people that are gonna be willing helpers, even if not super valuable. And if you're competent yourself, then you'll be able to get a good grade, which I think to some people, in some people's minds, is the best way to be in a group. Like, I don't want people who get in my way. I just know I'm going to do the best work, and so I'm going to do it. And if you idiots just stay out of my way, then that's ideal for me. I think some people genuinely feel that way about group projects.
okay.
So it'll be interesting
Well,
to see how the vote goes. Anyway, Preston, you have another pick here.
yeah, who's about to throw a massive wrench into this team? It's me. You're looking at him.
Okay. I love it when he does this.
Because we're taking the bossy boss. And we're taking Dee Dee from Dexter's
Ah.
Laboratory.
She
To
was
come
one of
in
my
and just-
choices.
Absolutely
Dang.
whip around this crew. Like, this crew is not going to have any fun now that Dee Dee is in it.
I think I disagree. I
That
think
was
a lot
a
of
great choice. Dee Dee was actually on my list.
I really think with this group in particular, I think everyone's gonna fucking love Dee Dee.
No, what? What are you
Well,
talking about?
Mandark certainly will because he's in love with her.
He is in
so.
love with Dee Dee, but I have Mandark, not
He
Preston.
won't. You know,
Yeah,
if
gotta
you had
keep
put
those
Dee
two
Dee in
apart.
your team, Daniel, then like Mandark would actually have gotten no work done probably.
This is
So
true.
then that could have been.
But
a
he's
good-
like on his best behavior when he's around Dee Dee. I want him on his worst behavior. Dee Dee, I think Cheese and Dee Dee are going to get along so famously that Cheese
What?
is going to become a positive
Yeah.
worker for your team.
What are you talking about? Oh my
They're
god.
I
kindred
kind of think
spirits.
like
They're
you know
kindred.
Ed and Dee Dee. I feel like they're kindred as well.
Big chemistry there, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think this is a big blunder by you. Your wrench has really wrenched things up.
I kind of agree. I'm not gonna
No,
be about
she's
it.
bad. She's super bossy. Nobody's going to be responsive. She's going to get in the way of everybody, and she's
I
going
don't
to
remember-
prevent this group of do-nothings from coalescing around a singular.
I don't remember
mission.
Dee Dee being that bossy. I remember Dee Dee, like, if Dexter hates Dee Dee because
Dee
Dexter is
Dee?
bossy.
He just
and he-
walks in and ruins everything and then walks
Yeah,
out of his lab.
she's
But
clutchy
she
and
does it
clumsy.
on purpose.
Yeah, she does it on
like,
purpose. Didi, you've ruined my laboratory. Like that.
Yeah.
Like that, Daniel.
I don't know. I think if Dexter's not involved, I think
Just like
Dee Dee
that.
would be mostly fine, especially with these people here.
That's quite a leap. But
That's
okay.
just my take. That's my take on Dee Dee, and it
Okay.
seems like Paige is in strong agreement with me. So
You know, I'm like at first I was like, oh, Dee Dee's a great pick, but now that I'm thinking about it, when I look at the rest of
Too
your
easily swayed.
group,
Mm.
I'm like,
Mhm.
you know,
yeah, I think Dee Dee is honestly the glue that holds this team together. And
No,
makes them a very functioning unit.
absolutely not.
All right. I am up now, and I am going to. I didn't see this show on the list of Cartoon Network shows, but I'm very certain it was on Cartoon Network. Thundercats is on Cartoon Network, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take Snarf from Thundercats.
Snarf.
Which I think would have been a better pick for Preston's team, honestly. Because again, just a worthless do nothing character. But for me, it's just so annoying, Snarf, that he'd be just so insufferable, Snarf, to be in a group with. And so I mean, I have him high on my list.
Snarf is a little bit endearing.
No, there's nothing endearing about Snarf.
He's cute.
No.
He's cute.
No, he's not.
No. You can't just
Snarf.
say no.
Snarf.
Snarf's cute. Okay, says the guy who plays Pokemon all the time. What kind of noise does Pikachu make?
Pikachu's noises are also annoying, and she doesn't make the same. She doesn't say Pika-Pee in the games, which I.
But Snarf is basically a Pokemon.
Pika.
You don't think a Pokemon would be useful?
Snarf would be the worst fucking Pokemon of all time.
And Snarf just kind of.
I feel like the group project might be about Snarf.
Whoa.
What do you mean by that?
Investigating where Snarf comes from.
We need to explore this.
Yeah.
What Snarf's like whole deal is.
What is Snarf?
Yeah, I feel like Mandark's gonna be like, okay, what the hell is this? Let's do some crazy tests on him.
There's no way people like Snarf. I'm sorry, but there's just no way.
In the 2020 reimagining of Thundercats, Snarf was depicted as a cat-like android robotic pet equipped with multiple tools. That sounds very useful, Dan.
I'm not taking that Snarf.
Draft that for this team.
I'm not.
Are you sure you're not taking that Snarf? That might be up to the listeners. Might be up to the person who makes the graphic and would put a big picture of Android Snarf on the graphic.
You can't do that because you have to put my first pick there.
Do I have to do anything?
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting.
He's upset. He's upset that I tore apart his DD pick so hard.
I love this. Sorry, I'm looking at the Snarf Wikipedia article. The original version of Snarf received a mostly mixed to negative reception by both critics and fans. People are like, I'm not about this dude.
There you go. My case is made.
Wow, that's funny.
All right, so I feel great about that pick. Paige, it is time for your final two selections. How are you rounding out your team?
Oh gosh. Oh no. I'm so not prepared for this. But you know what? Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Princess Morbox from Powerpuff Girls.
Who is she?
You know her? She wanted to be a Powerpuff Girl, so she tried to use money to be a Powerpuff Girl, and she couldn't. So she decided if she can't be a Powerpuff Girl, nobody can. And now she's a villain, and she's just kind of a bitch. Like she's a little entitled.
I remember.
Shots fired at a 7-year-old.
I don't think we can say that anymore, Paige, in this day and age. But I'm not here to disagree with you.
She's not fun to be around.
She does have
entitled.
She does have superpowers though.
Snobby brat, as I think the way you would describe her.
She's like, does she have superpowers? I'm like,
she has powers.
I don't think she does.
Powers. I'm looking at the Wikipedia. Powers. Bribery. I don't think that's a power.
Not a power.
That's
money.
Not really
that's
a
not a power.
power.
Okay, superpowers. No, here it is. She was given the Powerpuff Girls powers in an episode entitled "'Twas the Fight Before Christmas."
Ooh.
Which is a great name for a
little deep
episode.
Deep cut lore for
you. You don't understand the lore, Paige. Come on.
I will say that if her powers are perceived to be her money and spending power, then it seems very plausible that she would probably just buy a good grade for everyone, which honestly seems like an absolutely ideal project partner.
Yep. You know what?
Bribery. Bribery is literally listed as a superpower here.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't be good in a group at all.
Probably not, but I mean, I'd stomach it for a free A, you know?
Well, maybe.
No, I think this is I do remember her being just unbelievably bratty and entitled, which is
She was incredibly bratty.
Two of the worst characteristics a human being can have, and I'm sure she'd be insufferable.
She would just be awful to work with.
Yeah, she would.
So awful.
She definitely would. Paige, what is your final pick of the draft?
Gosh, I have no idea, honestly, but I think
Paige,
I'm gonna have
we just stalled for you for like 10 minutes.
Sorry. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe like
you can't say maybe like the first. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Skeletor from He-Man. Yeah, he's just his plans never come together ever. You know, I mean, I know they're thwarted, but generally they're not great plans to begin with. And you know, he's not the nicest person either. He's just kind of I don't know.
My only question is, was He-Man on Cartoon Network?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
I think so.
Originally, it was on Cartoon Network for sure. Because I only watched Cartoon Network, and I definitely saw He-Man.
Okay. Well, originally it's from the 1980s, before Cartoon Network existed, but I'm willing to accept that it may have aired on Cartoon Network at some point, but I don't remember that. But I'm going to give you the benefit.
That may be true.
I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt as the person who is the more experienced Cartoon Network watcher.
I don't know about that, but you definitely are. Pretty much only Cartoon Network. So.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, he's an evil demon from another dimension, according to this, which I weirdly didn't know. I thought he was just some like walking skeleton guy. Yeah. Anyway.
Wait, so you thought
there's a lot of lore behind this that I actually didn't know.
Hang on, Paige. Do you mean to tell me you just thought Skeletor was an unmagical, normal human skeleton who just happened to still be
animated
alive?
And started?
Okay, I was watching this when I was a child, so like. I don't know. You know what? Who knows?
I think
weird that he only had
most
like a
people
skeleton
knew.
head, but like a buff body.
But boy, was he buff.
Boy, was he buff. Yeah, his head really did not match his body.
Skeletor, a bit of a snack. Is that fair to say?
Sure.
Fair to say?
I'm gonna have to disagree with that.
Really?
What? Come on.
I just am not. I don't know. I think there's just too many muscles there.
Too many muscles?
Not Paige out into beefcakes. I guess we should have known that since her first crush was Double D. We should have known.
Yeah, that's true.
My crush was Double D, not Skeletor.
Yeah, I should have known.
Your little skinny emo boy.
Sorry to all of our burly boy listeners out there. You're not Paige's type. Sorry, Skeletor. I think this is a good pick though, for obvious reasons. Skeletor was not on my radar; just didn't register to me as a Cartoon Network show.
He's kind of annoying, like the way he.
Oh, more than kind of.
Yeah,
very much so.
Not as annoying as anyone I've drafted, but definitely annoying. Okay, it's time.
I'll agree with that.
It is time for my final selection now, and thank you for agreeing with me, Paige. I am going to take what I think is the better Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends selection here.
Oh boy.
Because she is just as dumb.
Oh.
And I think more annoying and crucially does not have hands and therefore cannot hold a pencil. And that is Coco.
Crucially.
And that is that obnoxious bird. Coco. It is like the obnoxious tree bird thing who only says her name in a very screechy, high-pitched voice. That's all she can do. And she does have moments of redemption in the show. I will grant you that. She does seem to have a heart of gold deep down. And it's not her fault that she can't communicate properly. But the fact is, she's very annoying because she cannot communicate properly. And again, crucially, cannot even hold a pencil, which Preston said was the most important thing in being a bad group member. Verbatim, quote him. You all
okay.
And so therefore I am thrilled to get Coco with my final selection.
It's a fine choice.
Yeah, you know what? I'll agree with this one.
Nice. I really have Paige on my side here. It feels like I love it.
You do. I've been fully abandoned.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It was Dr. Dee Dee. After you chose Dee Dee, I was like, oh.
Oh.
Poor
Well, it doesn't
Preston.
even really matter what I do with my last pick here.
No, come on. Think about all the voters who are still on your side. Think about all the voters who were like, "Oh, that DD pick was such a good pick, Preston."
It was a great pick.
There's
Thank
probably
you,
there's probably one or two of them out there.
Hi, mom and dad.
No, your parents don't vote on the show. There's no way.
No, not a chance. They don't know what Twitter is. They think it's a bird that flies by their house. Okay.
Oh no.
I think I'm just gonna play it safe. I'm gonna go with a very crotchety old man. I'm gonna take Eustace from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
That's
Yeah.
I'm gonna
a
pair
good
Eustace and Courage together.
one. And they
And
hate each
Eustace
other,
is
so-
often
Really bad,
the bad
really
guy.
bad
Yeah.
chemistry there. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
That's what you want.
That's
Or
a good
it's what you
pick.
don't
That's true.
what you don't want.
that's a good pick.
Eustace would be good.
Well, he'd be bad, which is why it's a good pick.
Well,
Yeah,
he'd be good bad.
exactly.
He'd be bad at good.
He'd be bad, which
good
is
at
good.
bad. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and
Uh-huh.
he's like lazy as hell. So
Lazy
yeah, and it would just
AF.
be so like it would just be so he's so brutally mean to Courage, like it just would be uncomfortable for everyone else to be around, you know? Just to be around the
Yep.
two of them would just really
well,
be
Plank's
awful.
not gonna care, but
No, but like as you as the seventh member, you know,
yeah,
just like a real person having to be with this group would be tough largely because of the dynamic between Courage and Eustace. So I think that's a solid pick, and that brings us to the conclusion of the worst Cartoon Network characters to have as your group project members, and that leaves us with these as our teams. Preston has Courage the Cowardly Dog, Plank from Ed, Edd and Eddy, Cheese from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Ed from Ed, Edd and Eddy, Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab, and Eustace from Courage. And then I have Eddie from Ed, Edd and Eddy, Lumpy Space Princess from Adventure Time, Caillou, Mandark from Dexter's Lab, Snarf from Thundercats, and Coco from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. And Paige has Johnny Bravo, Billy from Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Lemon Grab, oh my god, I shudder just thinking about him, from Adventure Time, Captain Knuckles from The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, Princess Morebooks from Powerpuff Girls, and Skeletor from He-Man. We have so much more to discuss. We'll be right back to do that after the break.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite host here to ask you on behalf of the Appen Podcast Network, our parent network, to go check out some of their other shows. I'm partial to the Georgia Politics Podcast. I'm a host there every week. We play games at the end of every episode, trivia. Great way to stay in touch with local issues going on here in Georgia, but we also touch on national things too. Would really appreciate if you come give us a listen. Check out everything the Appen Podcast Network has going on at appenmedia.com, APPENMEDIA.com.
Okay, we are back for the post-draft analysis part of the show. And as always, I'm going to ask you guys my favorite question of the draft. What was the worst pick?
Kind of seems like the Dee Dee pick was, right?
Don't pick your own pick.
No, I'm definitely not
Believe
picking
in
my own.
yourself.
I still believe that she's gonna be the absolute worst to deal with on this team.
So wait, is it the worst team or the worst pick?
The worst pick.
The worst pick.
The worst single
worst pick.
pick. The worst single selection.
Mandark. I think Mandark would be a great addition to a group project.
I mean, he's a genius, right?
Yeah,
That's
he's
his
a
whole
genius.
shtick.
You guys want to do a
Exactly.
group project with Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah,
I mean,
hell
it would be better than
They
doing it
could
with
do
a
it.
dog and a piece of wood. Yeah.
exactly.
See, I think the three of you two are very different people than me. I think it's what it comes
Probably.
down to. Which
I'd
is
rather
fair.
Yeah,
do
you'd much
that
rather
than
work
with
with a piece
Lemon
of
Grab and
I would.
Johnny Bravo. Like, I don't
No,
know.
Johnny Bravo was a great pick. I mean Johnny
Yes.
Bravo. There's Johnny Bravo got picked 3 rounds before Mandark though. So I didn't see them on the same tier. In my defense, I think it's Dee Dee. I think. Or honestly, no. To not pick on Dee Dee, I think it's Captain Knuckles.
You don't
because-
even know Captain Knuckles.
Exactly. So who's gonna see Captain Knuckles and be like, oh yeah, that dude sucks.
That
What
guy.
a great pick.
He is just watch them. Just Google any YouTube video of Captain Knuckles, literally any episode, and then you'll know exactly.
I just think it's to be too off the beaten path, Paige. I think it's too off the beaten path. People our age haven't seen Flapjack. I don't think they have.
Everybody has seen Flapjack.
No.
It's so cute, and I love it. And Captain Knuckles is just a real arse, you know.
Watch this very cute
Real
show where
arse.
the number 2 character is a real piece of shit. It's so cute. I love it.
Well, Flapjack is so cute and loving and sweet and innocent, and then Knuckles is like the worst. Is he a person? I don't really know what he is. The worst pirate thing, friends, really anything. He's just the worst.
Mm.
So.
Well, see, this is why.
And he's lazy. He's super lazy. He never does any work for himself, ever.
I mean, to be honestly, it sounds like a great pick. I just think people aren't going to know who it is. That's my assumption, because I think a lot of people haven't seen the show. Which I think you have to factor in. You have to factor in recognizability.
Flapjack, so good.
I will say this kind of hits on why I am not a fan of Cartoon Network shows, because a very unifying theme amongst many of them is that the people are bad, and like the comedy is rooted in people being shitty or stupid or like dark, grisly, uncomfortable situations, and that has just like never resonated with me on any type of show.
Uncomfortable situations.
Say Paige and I are very different
very different
content
people.
consumers. Yeah. I don't think we're that different as people. I think we're just different in what we like as entertainment.
We have very different opinions on things, I feel like, most of the time.
Yes. The trivial things. I think we agree on most of the more important things, but anywho. Before I forget, Preston, what was the show that you watched every episode of that you teased at the start of the show?
Yeah, that would be Codename Kid Next Door.
That was what I thought it was gonna be. Yeah.
Fabulous program. So good.
I really want to go back and watch it as with a, actual
I'm a little worried too,
lens.
to be honest. I'm worried it won't hold up to the place it has.
It won't hold up.
I'm sure it won't. Because it's like I don't remember if it. I generally can't remember if it was good or not. But the premise was just so fucking cool. I feel like especially as a boy our age, it's like, oh man, they're fucking kids.
A giant tree house. That tree house is so dope.
They're kids.
They got nacho cheese everywhere. Are you
so
kidding
cool?
me?
It was so cool. Just the concept of alone was so cool. I feel like the show probably wasn't actually that good, but I have been curious generally, especially looking on this, doing the very small amount of research I did for this draft. Did remind me of Codename Kids Next Door, and
I was strongly considering taking the Delightful Children from Down the Lane as a singular member of my group project, because they would be just awful.
I don't think we would have allowed that.
Yeah, to take all 5 of them or 6 of them, however many there were. Yeah.
I don't think I would have allowed that. It would have been a fun try. Then.
But I feel like it's not like classical cartoons that I think of when I think of Cartoon Network.
It was in this bridge period between me being a child and me being a man.
Exactly. Same.
It was. I feel like it came out when we were in middle school, probably, Preston.
Probably,
and also, honestly, it felt like it had more Nickelodeon show vibes, right? It didn't have a lot of the things that define we think of as the Cartoon Network, the classic.
Closer to a Kim Possible or something.
Yeah, which was Disney actually, but yes.
I did really like that one character on Kids Next Door. She was my favorite. Number 3, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they all had numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, the
number 3 and number
sweater.
5 were the two girls.
Yeah, that was another thing. There weren't many girls in that show, I feel like.
Well, 40% of the main characters. There were 5 main characters. 2 of them were girls, 3 of them were boys.
That is true. Okay.
More than Johnny Bravo.
Well, there were a lot of women.
More than Flapjack.
That's a good point. Yeah.
How many female characters are there in Flapjack, Paige?
Yeah, Paige.
Well, the whale is a female.
Wow. Wow.
That's more fucked up than not having.
Oh my god.
No, it's hard to tell because the people in Flapjack sometimes aren't people. I'm not really sure exactly what they are.
Jeez. Okay. All right. Go off, I guess.
What do you mean? She was Bubby. I think her name is Bubby the whale. and she was so sweet. She was like really nice, and I really liked her. And then there's but there's only
Is
three
she
main
dead now?
characters. No, no, she's not.
You
Dead. I mean, I haven't
Would you
seen.
ask
I haven't.
that?
Well, because she
seen
said
the
liked
end
like
of-
past tense, like she was no longer with us.
Oh
no longer
no,
around.
I just no longer watch Flapjack. Sorry.
Is she dead now?
Is she dead now?
Okay.
But yeah.
Was there anyone on your list like who you thought would be a good pick, but for whatever reason you just kind of ran out of like spots for, or went a different way strategy wise when it came time to it? Who else was left on your list at the end of the draft?
Do you guys think Mojo Jojo would have been a good pick?
I think he would have been.
Enjoyed a group project with Mojo Jojo.
Yeah, I think.
Interesting.
I think he is a very interesting character, and that you can argue for him either way. I think if you pick him, there's obvious arguments for why he's a good pick, and if like for Paige and I to pick him apart, there are very obvious things that we can say that he would be a good pick. I actually like he's quite smart. He's a massive brain.
Right.
So that's like the counter Mandark argument. And I actually find him much less annoying than Mandark. I think he's like much more endearing than Mandark is. So I think I would
agree with that.
I think I would have liked Mojo Jojo.
Okay. I'm glad I strategically avoided that selection then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a good job by you. Paige, did you have any?
Yes. Actually one of them was the do you know the Amoeba Boys from Powerpuff Girls?
It sounds vaguely familiar. I'm sure once I Google.
They're literal amoebas. Well, the amoeba boys spread sickness.
Mhm.
So they get people sick. I guess they're not the worst in terms of personality, but they are literal amoebas. So not
bad.
great with like hands. Yeah.
Not great with hands.
I don't know that they have hands actually.
They don't. They seem to not have visible hands, but they are capable of holding newspapers to read.
Yeah.
According
Yeah.
to this
I've seen
picture
them
I'm
hold
looking at right now.
things. So
Mhm.
I guess, and they wear hats.
They do wear hats, which can add to team
but-
morale. I think if you just have some cool guys in hats on the team,
That's possible. But nobody wants to be sick during a group project. And
Here's
with
the
them
counter argument for
around,
that.
you
Here's counter argument for
definitely
that.
would be.
If you get sick, you get out of the group project.
Not from my
Ooh.
experience.
Oh, really?
Maybe
I mean,
these
you
days.
get out a little more.
Oh, they were
That's
really
true.
cracking the whip. Paige is like bedridden. You better have your part in on
You
Tuesday.
better have your
Paige.
part in. Yeah.
Jeez. I think I like Preston's. I think it just would have been fun to discuss Mojo Jojo, like he because he is such like both sides. It would have been just fun.
Yeah,
to
like a back and
discuss
forth
him.
character.
Yeah. So Preston, you should have fallen on that sword for the sake of the content of the show, and I'm a little upset with you now for not doing it.
I will do that next time. I
thank you.
apologize.
I appreciate that. For me, I had Pinky from Pinky and the Brain on there.
He was the one I thought of too.
But I ultimately ended up not taking him because he is just like such a loyal follower that I think he actually in a way would be like
He
kind
would
of a
listen.
good stooge to have as
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mandark would be ordering him around and he'd be just doing whatever.
he'd just be doing it.
He's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
What do you guys think? I had this one on my list as kind of like one to discuss. What about Buttercup from Powerpuff Girls?
I think Buttercup would eventually come around and help the team.
Yeah. I think, if her grade depended on it and her dad was like, Buttercup, you better get good grades, then she'd be like, fine. And she
Should have been a little pain in the ass about it though, up until that point.
I mean, yeah, but like the standards we're
no
going
more
for here
than-
are pretty low.
Yeah. I feel like she's higher on the list of like not being too annoying.
Yeah,
I agree.
I would have taken lots of people on my list before her, but she wasn't on my list as someone to consider. Okay, it's now time for the final question of the show. Who drafted the worst people to be in a group project with?
Uh-oh.
Paige, what do you think? Sorry, Preston. I'm letting Paige bat lead off on this one.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Okay, but when you say the worst, do you mean the worst pick?
The best.
Like who had the best draft? Who did the best job of assembling the worst group?
Who did the best job of assembling the worst?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna choose myself because I feel like that's rude.
Wow,
So
that's nice of you.
Gosh. I guess I would probably go with Preston just because.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, he picked Dee Paige.
But the courage and Plank back to back is so good.
Plank is not a good
pick. It's really like
Plank is a fabulous pick.
I
should have picked Plank as the worst pick.
Yeah, with Daniel's group, I feel like at least Mandark. I feel like Mandark is really where you went wrong. Mandark could like carry the group in the project, and
I don't think he could with my specific group. I think the rest of the group does not allow him to carry it.
The rest of the group would not be great about it. But when I look at Preston's group, I don't see anyone who would carry the group at all.
I agree.
I
agree.
Well, you guys are so lazy. You just want someone
else
to carry
and like
just like my team. One of them is a literal plank.
One of them is a dog. One of them is, I don't know what cheese is.
An imaginary friend.
And then Eustace certainly isn't doing anything.
No.
So really it's up to like Ed and Dee Dee, which maybe they could wrap something together.
I don't think Ed's going to be doing anything.
Yeah.
All right, Preston, what about you?
That's it.
I think my team is so unbelievably useless. I have to pick my team. I think it's clear.
That's fair.
As a second choice, I also think you have too much potential on your team, Dan. So I'm going to go with Paige.
Interesting.
Mine is just super angry, toxic people, or like, there's sexual harassment. There's Billy's.
It's the Johnny Bravo pick is so good. Yeah.
What's toxic about Billy? Tell me what's toxic about Billy.
Nothing's toxic about
Billy.
Nothing. He's just not very bright.
He's just not very bright, and he regularly messes things up. And then Lemon Grab is pretty much useless because he's just screaming. He's really annoying. Captain Knuckles would not do anything because he never does anything. Skeletor. I feel like these are people who like would maybe try to do the group project, but would end up just blowing something up.
Yeah, Skeletor for sure.
Skeletor for sure. None of his plans ever go through, ever.
Nope.
He always ends up like being like, curse you, He-Man. And then like, honestly, his plans just all fall
apart. I really am surprised you guys are. I just feel like maybe you're misremembering Mandark. I know he's smart, but like there's a lot more to being a functioning member of a group project than just being smart.
So it's our fault you did a bad job here. Is that what you're saying?
No.
We just aren't smart enough to understand the
No, what's happening right now is you're victim blaming me.
Oh my God.
It kind of feels like you're victim blaming me with that accusation.
How are you the victim here? How Paige picked you over me?
You accused me of doing something. I feel victimized.
All right, fair. Point suited. I will pick Paige pretty much single-handedly for Lemon Grab. I had forgot about Lemon Grab, and Lemon Grab.
He's just so awful.
I think I genuinely have such a visceral hatred for Lemon Grab. That is like very real, like a very real feeling for me. Like I said, I stopped watching the show because of him. That's how much I hate Lemon Grab, and so the thought of being with him in any sort of real world setting is so nauseating to me that I think single-handedly he makes me pick Paige's team.
And honestly, like if you pair Lemon Grab with any of these people, it's just like nothing's happening, nothing's getting done. Like
no, Paige, I think you could have picked 5 people that I love. Like that I with my
and then put Lemon Grab in there.
Heart, and you put Lemon Grab in there, and I would still pick your team.
Oh my God,
he hates Lemon Grab that much.
That's really something. Wow. Okay,
yeah, it's true.
Lemon Grab is very annoying.
He is.
I think he gets less annoying in some episodes, but most of the time, he's annoying.
No, insufferable. To the point where I don't really understand why he's a character. Like the whole like the ironic insufferability as comedy thing has never been something that has registered with me as something that makes sense comedically. But anyway, of course, it always comes down to you on Twitter. Let us know who you guys think picked the most or the worst group of Cartoon Network characters to do a group project with. Let us know in the Discord what you think as well. You can give your more nuanced opinions rather than just casting your vote, which is important. Conversation is important. But that does wrap us up. Paige, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad that your internet was able to survive for as long as it did.
Oh my God, I'm so surprised actually, but thank you for having me.
An actual miracle.
It is an actual miracle. It's like the moment we started, it actually got better.
It all got better.
Somehow.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was like for the podcast. I'm gonna hold on for the podcast.
Well, we appreciate that, and I'm sure the listeners do as well. Paige, how can the listeners support you? Where can they follow you and support the things you are doing creatively these days?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Paige Sixx, PAIGE_SIXX, or on Twitch, also as Paige Sixx, but with an actual number 6IXX.
Yep, and I can post this in the Discord. I keep forgetting to do that. I'll do it for all the guests we've had. Post where you can find their content.
All of my links are on my Instagram anyway.
Oh, okay.
Just get them on my Instagram and then they're there.
Yeah, be sure you guys go follow Paige, support Paige before she becomes a big time Hollywood actress. You guys will want to be on the ground floor.
I'll say one day the star of Transformers 32 was on the Drafted podcast.
I don't think I will ever be on Transformers.
This is what I think.
The next live action He-Man. Ooh.
I know what Paige's big breakthrough is going to be. I know what Paige's big breakthrough is going to be. It's going to be playing Amber Heard in the Hulu produced mini drama of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial.
That's interesting.
I look like Amber Heard. I don't think I look like Amber Heard, but Daniel thinks I look like Amber Heard.
Well, that's the best plug for the Instagram you could ask for, right? Because now people have to go find out.
There we go.
Right?
That's true.
Is Daniel right or wrong?
Anything like her, but he's
go look and see, and you be the judge. But Paige, thanks so much for joining us. It was so great to have you. I am very glad that it was able to work out. I was a little worried before when we were prepping that it wasn't.
Me too. My internet really came through. I'm so happy about that.
Yeah. It was a good time. And we'll have to have you on again in the future. I think that does it for you and me. Is that right, Preston? Do we have anything else we need to say to the people? I mean, support us on Patreon if you would. We'd love that. It really goes a long way. Join the Discord. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all of those places. I bet you guys know the drill.
Yeah, the White Claw's gone, so sleepy time.
Okay. On that note, we will talk to y'all next week.
That's going to be my signature sign off. The White Claw's gone. Sleepy time.